This is Drag the Lake. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, I'm here to spill the tea, and you're here to drink it. What do you got in the cup over there, bud?
I got a lot of stuff.
Don't lollygag. You tell me what it is.
I got, what?
Don't you lollygag.
I don't know what this energy is.
This is a cross-examination about what you're drinking, sir, and I don't like you averting the question. Now you answer the question. What's in the cup?
This really helps prove my point over something I've been thinking about. Where like I think definitely, you know how like the whole people talk about like, oh yeah, you got to do mushrooms because of A, B, and C, and you need to smoke weed to chill out. And I go, I don't know if I've ever seen evidence of that.
No, this gets me here.
Yeah,
we are. You know the little map you see at the mall? You are here.
You are here, and right before that is a bunch of blinkers.
I was raging in the parking lot with my blinkers on. You know what I'm saying?
No, I've always thought about that with mushrooms, where it's like I don't think people are wrong, but like I'm around a lot of people who've done mushrooms a lot of times, and I just go like, I just don't know if I've actually met this person, this enlightened person you're telling me about.
No, it's that is I'm overdue for a mushroom trip, and you still haven't answered what's in the cup. But just
What?
nothing. I'm overdue for a mushroom trip right now. It's these microdosing.
You think I'm avoiding like what's?
You're skirting the question, sir, and I don't appreciate it.
I don't wear skirts at all, but please ask me a question.
Counselor, what's in your cup?
Green tea.
I didn't know what kind of tea it was. The black tea gives me tummy
coffee.
Ache. Whoa.
I'm going up and over. Water.
Caffeinated water.
Liquid fentanyl. Yo, I had that fucking THC soda last night. Shout out Into Cloud. That shit rips. And you know what I like about it? You can sip it. You can only have it. You have a little bit, or you got a lot bit.
That is actually probably the best delivery system. Is like a edible or a drinkable.
I was doing the math in my head. I was like, this is perfect. This is perfect. Like, because my whole thing all the time would be like smoking weed or whatever. Like, you take a gummy, even if you bite the corner, it's always the corner that all the THC's in.
Yeah,
they're like, oh yeah, we made the gummies tilted, so all the THC poured down to that one corner.
It's all in the toes.
Yeah, but yeah, it's always in the toes or the ears of the gummy bear you're eating.
But to reiterate on the mushroom thing you were talking about, the mushroom trip is beneficial. The trip, not doing it recreationally. I think it should be fistful of mushrooms. That's my serving size. Whatever your fistful.
It's actually your autobiography, Fistful of Mushrooms.
Fistful of mushrooms, baby. It's exactly what it is. But like that's the it's essentially that is beneficial. That's the thing that is, because after the couple days after that, you're just kind of like, man, like it really gives you perspective of like life and everything like that. And if you remember it, if you can actually continue that, but you get lost in life. You start hanging out with, you got to work your job, you got to deal with people, you have to drive in traffic and all this other shit. And it just kind of builds everything back up. And then you got to release it again with a nice little. See, some people do ayahuasca and shit like that. I don't think you need that much. Just literally just a fistful of mushrooms, hang out in your house don't have anything to do the next day because it'll ruin you're wasting mushrooms. Mm-hmm. You'll just worry about you're not being high the whole time. You won't be high the whole time. You'll be fine for work, in a day or two. You'll be fine. But that's the thing. I think it's not that you can't work the next day after mushrooms. It's just it's just like that's the hardest it's ever been to get motivated to do something that you don't want to do. Because it's like you're like, I don't have to, man. I don't have to go to work. And you're like, oh no, I did too much.
You're like, what's the fucking point of work anyway, bruh?
Yeah, literally. And it's a perspective shifter. And I would say it's good for a nice reset every once in a while, but it's these micro dosing pussies out here that are ruining mushrooms because you're turning it recreational, and it's not meant to be recreational.
Yeah. No, I think there's been we've seen people in our sphere who the shift in the recreationality of it has definitely caused some problems for people.
Did I tell you about crying in a White Castle at Skankfest on mushrooms?
That's funny because I saw the exact opposite of you at a White Castle. I saw you about to shoot up at White Castle at a Skank Fest.
Brother, I went through all stages of grief in White Castle at Skank Fest, and I don't know what I was grieving.
Were you on mushrooms?
Yeah. Well, that's because the thing. I was somebody gave me. I bought them. Somebody gave me after I gave them money. Mushroom chocolates.
Okay, you purchased mushrooms.
That's it. That's the one.
Yeah.
You just want to keep the perception up. So like, like somebody just handed me mushrooms. Like, no, they did it after I gave them money. It was commerce. So I was like, he's like, one, you'll be, it's whatever. Two, you'll be a little, you'll feel it. Ooh, baby. And then like
you might stand there
well,
out.
What happens with 3? And I'm just like, oh.
You're like, the burgers are so small. I'm so small in this universe.
Dude, doing mushrooms in Vegas bummed me out, man. Vegas bummed me out when Vegas, I was just like, there's no joy here. This is all manufactured bullshit.
There's
None
not
of you
one
are happy. And then I saw Ridley and a couple other people. I was like, hey, what's going on, man? Hey. I had sunglasses on. I was just like, no, don't come over here. I'm talking to my wife.
Don't come over here. Like, I'm doing this shit's way too cool for you. What's going on right now? You can't come over here.
And I'm just sobbing
way too fucking cool.
I'm sobbing over a sack of burgers, talking to my wife, going like, I don't fucking belong here.
That rules, dude.
So yeah,
that fucking rules.
So
Vegas
that's
is
the ego death. That's why mushrooms are good. Ego death is one of those things where you're like, you mean nothing, but it's cool, man. Just be cool. Yeah. And it's like, that's the kind of thing. And then you lose perspective, and then you go back to going like, why are you merging?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah,
that's like, I think the mushrooms is good at giving you the insight, but from like at least the people I associate with, I go, yeah, you just threw that in front of that crying Indian. He's just like, you just threw trash on the side of the highway.
Yeah,
and there's this one Indian guy. Yeah. I go, what? Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, I think the microdosing, I think the meaning of it, or like what people are trying to do, is like have a little bit of that feeling every day, and it doesn't work. You get used to it, and then it just becomes more callous.
Well, and that's the problem I have with a lot of recreational, and I know people. I don't know if people nowadays call weed drugs or whatever, but you understand the broad strokes of what I'm saying when I say all that. Yeah. But like the recreational drug
substances,
medicine
and whatnot.
I'm taking my 20-minute a day. Take one pill every 20 minutes every day.
Yeah.
To feel normal. It's medicine.
Hello.
I think I do think a lot with the recreational drug use. There's a heavy thing of problem avoidance. You know what I mean? It's a heavy thing of like, oh, I don't want to. Yeah, it's almost like they do the mushrooms. They see the problem. You go, I don't want to deal with that though. Yeah. It's like a lot of people are present. That's why I always think, I don't know. I think a lot of
they're like, that's somebody else's problem.
Yeah. They pull the curtain back, and you're like, let's put that curtain right back where it was.
Yeah, well, that's gonna be someone else's. I hope somebody else figures that out.
I have sometimes. That's why sometimes I have way more contempt for the normal person over the like big bad evil person controlling stuff, because I'm like, the big bad evil person is just doing what they're supposed to do. They're a bad guy. They're not gonna ever be a good guy. You're the guy. You're the one with like the choice to make to be a good person. You know what I mean? You have all the resources. It's just a problem. It's like everyone's got to get fucking locked in on the same wavelength, and that's not easy.
Yeah, I think it's about medicating yourself so you're able to function around other people, and that's the that's the thing. Is like, it's kind of I'm doing this. I'm not doing this to fucking chill, dude. I'm doing this for you guys. You know what I mean? Like, this is for you. This is a service. This means that, like, that crazy homeless guy you see screaming on the street, if he would just take his pills, he wouldn't be your problem.
I don't know. A lot of those guys got out there because of their pills. And their
if they took the right pills
and their potions.
Yeah, if they took the correct prescribed pills.
They've been doing
whether
too many, taking too many potions,
or
too many, too many healing spells.
medicinal whippets like
Yeah, man.
Dice Gay.
Dice gay. What? What do you say? Doing medicinal whippets? That's a. I don't know, man. I think people haven't done enough whippets. I think more people should try the whippets route.
I didn't love it. It was that was the thing where I was just like,
I'm also just kidding, by the way. Don't do whippets.
well, it was that was that was like, to me, that was the first one. I'm sure salvia is probably similar. People doing salvia is scary looking,
Yeah,
but
that's
whippets
literally
was
what
one. Yeah,
that's what kept me from doing salvia. I saw one guy. I was at college and we were like walking around the dorms and I was with my friends and then I saw my other friends and we're all smoking cigarettes and then I look over and I see this guy just like
yeah,
he just looks like he looks like, you know, we've hit rocky waters but we're all standing on the same sidewalk.
yeah, yeah.
And I go, what's up with that guy? And they're like, he's on salvia. And I go, all right, so I'm never gonna do salvia.
Yeah. That doesn't even look at all like, that's the thing where like, I think some people use drugs as an escape and some people use it as like a crutch or a way to cope. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it just, whether it be, I mean, just in day-to-day life where it's like whether you have a chronic ailment or you're just fucking done with shit. If your existence feels like chronic ailment, it's one of those things where these are things that can smooth out those edges for you. Did you hear that the douche maxing guy overdosed?
Oh, clavicular?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
The pretty guy. Pretty guy that always, yeah.
That's relative.
He just got by the way, I will say this. Like, even for like physique wise, I like, there's so much better. I don't understand the appeal of this fella, but
he doesn't do it for you.
Well, like, even as like I mean, shit, you know, I'm only human. I can go like, hey, that's a pretty dude. That's, you know, there's Brad Pitt has been dominating sex appeal for how long, just because of how fucking cool he is. So I get the cool points as well. But as far as like maxing and modding and all this other shit, like, the dude's got like a normal twink fella body. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, well, that's like the constant psyop, like multi-layered psyop that happens with things like these, where they just, you go and you see a guy like clavicular and they go, that's the standard of like what a dude's supposed to look like, and you're like, based off of who?
Yeah, he's
you
just
know
like
what I mean?
a wafy fucking.
And then it's like, well, what's the evidence that you're like super desirable by women? It's like, well, I pay them all to constantly hang out with me. Like, it's the same thing that happened with that like Dan Blazerian guy, where they're like, dude, he's the manliest of man. I go, he pays women to have him. And also, have you met women? What guy wants to hang out with 5 of them at once? Like, I'm not even trying. Like, I'm not like, I'm being a little bit funny, but legitimately, no
would
shade
pay for
on
that. Yes.
What woman would also what woman would just be like, oh, I just need like 5 dudes around me? Like, that's not a thing. I go like, yeah, the things you're doing don't sit with what men do, man.
But this goes to my Kardashian model of fame nowadays, where I go like, what does he do? Like, we come in, I'll tell you, well, we're gonna break this fourth wall down. We're gonna break the fourth wall down right now and tell you, we come on here to try to be funny. We try to talk about current events of the day or happenings around our areas.
I actually have a blowjob machine down here at all times. Mine is an elaborate sex thing. It's a weird creepy sex thing, guys.
This is a win-win. Because this is what our attempt is, but also we are sponsored by the suck machine.
Yeah, we're all sponsored by Under the Table Suck Co.
But this is like the thing where
com.
Like
CO. Go listen to this week's panties.
But there's a but like, even like other streamers and shit like that, they're like, they engage with people, they do activities. I think, as far as I can tell with this guy, he just exists.
Yeah.
And it's like that's the Kardashian model, where I'm like, you just exist and have an opinion, and that's what made you famous. That's fine. He's a pretty fella, whatever. I just don't understand why what the looking up to him, or like what is his. It's our biggest issue with South by Southwest, I think, when we're like, what is this festival anymore? What is it? Is it a music festival? Is it entertainment? Is it arts? Is it what? Like, you gotta have
Well,
a.
you gotta. There's certain. It's weird, man. There's certain times you need to take people at face value, and then there's certain times where you got to look at this and go like, well, wait, what? Because like you almost got to like trust yourself, because you have the proper sensors where you go, he doesn't do anything, and you go like, how is he popular? And you got to go, okay, well, half of it, this is my best guess, half of it is probably car crash effect, and then the other half of it is just, it's what Andrew Tate did. It's juicing the numbers. Like, Andrew, people don't know this about Andrew Tate. They think like his rise was way more organic than it actually was. But I watched like a little. I remember when he first got popular, or I don't even know if popular is the right word, just known. I watched like 2 little mini docs about him, and one of the reasons, you remember there was just a day where you'd go on like Instagram and YouTube or YouTube Shorts, and you're like, why am I seeing constant Andrew Tate videos of him on podcasts calling a bottle girl a whore or something like that?
Yeah.
It's because
I like sparkling water, not still water.
Yeah, here's some things where I'm clearly just ignoring my autism and then claiming it's manliness.
Yes, exactly.
My distinctions are clearly just autism, but it's I don't want to. Autism makes me feel weak, so I'm deciding this is just the truth of life.
This is my preference. It's not a condition.
Yeah, no. That's the. So I was watching the things about Andrew Tate, and he had his Hustler U, which he would convince like tech guys who are like betas that this is how you become a man.
Like this guy. Like, I feel like these were his demo.
Real quick. Well, no, you're good. But part of the Hustler U thing, I don't know if it was like, oh, we'll pay you if you do this, or there was some sort of like, you get a thing if you do this. There was a heavy incentive for the people in there to make clips and just pump them the fuck out there
of him.
So yeah,
like
so
his like thing.
Yeah, his thing. And like from some of these posts I see with Clavicular, like, oh, Clavicular just got frame mogged by the LSU frat president. You're like, I gotta think that was like intentional, the way he phrased that. And because I think the reason it went crazy is a lot of people were like, are these people real? And my response to that is, I don't think they are. Yeah. Like, I watched this Clavicular guy and I go, genuinely, if he's doing like 4D Curb Your Enthusiasm chess, he's actually one of the funniest people ever. Yeah. And I think there's a huge likeliness, like Clavicular and these dudes are doing some sort of like meta constant improving thing. Because have you ever seen that little Indian dude Sneeko? No, I'm sorry, Sneeko's this guy.
I just saw him. Yeah,
he just got punched in the head, by the way.
I love this sound so much. I don't know why I love this sound so much. When he gets punched, it's the initial. It's people getting punched. It happened with the fella that got slapped.
Oh, it's on their mic.
Yeah, no, right after this. Right after that. Because he's getting pulled down.
Hey, bro.
No.
What the fuck, bro?
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know who this guy is, but now I know who he is because he got punched in the face. So no matter what, influencing, I that's why I'm saying I'm not denying that there is appeal or people like this, because I do. There's a thing that I like about it.
Yeah, quick sidebar on the Sneeko guy. He is one of those always debating. He'll set up a change my mind table. So that's like, he actually does like social commentary.
Okay, and he he's also kind of provocateur, essentially,
he's
right?
Salacious.
That's it.
Yeah.
Infamous. But yeah, so the Clavicular guy was just hanging out in Miami or something like that.
Miami?
Apparently, yeah, I think it's Miami.
Miami?
I think it was Miami. I don't know.
Well, I hope they welcome him to Miami.
I mean, so either that or he got some kind of, he was drinking like paint thinner.
Oh yeah, that's what I had up here.
and like, go ahead.
Oh no, I'm pulling it up. You can keep talking.
No, yeah. So he essentially that was in my timeline this weekend from the the account that Lemaire always talks about, Grand Wizard Chat fella, and he posted about this, and it was like,
by the way, That, by the way, that was a joke that got talked over that I was very proud of during the Brad Williams episode.
What?
Because we had guys, Brad Williams is on the pod Thursday. It's gonna be fucking sick. And he kept making black jokes about his openers, and then he goes Grand Wizard chat N-word, and I was like, I think that guy's opening for you this weekend. Like everyone talked over me, and so now I was like, oh man, I hope people heard that.
Yeah. So that's good. I didn't realize he had so many black openers, which is really funny. That's like a stereotype with him.
Yeah,
Not a stereotype, but a thing.
like a known thing of his.
Yeah, a gnome thing. Just kidding. We're having fun. We're good. We're all friends.
Just don't say Munchkin around him.
Brother, that was a funny. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, check that episode out. That's one of the best intros of a podcast.
Yeah,
Ever
we have Brad Williams on, and like within the first 3 seconds, it goes nuts.
That's how the episode starts. I will tell you, as the producer, that's how the episode starts, Andy. It starts with, I'm Munch King, and then and Nate going, oh, you must be excited. You don't ring a lot because you always bring it up when you win. And he's just like, you were waiting to bring it up. And then just Brad Williams going, how can you bring that up with a munchkin in the room? Hey, Farwild.
Hey, Farwild.
And also thank you, Dice Gay, for I've been working on my Tate impression.
Holy shit! Let me go sit somewhere. What's up, guys? I'm absolutely gone. Holy fuck!
Oh shit.
Oh shit! So he's like fucked up the whole time.
Isn't it crazy that he looks exactly the same though? He's still able to go like.
Holy fuck! What's up, man? How are you?
His muscle memory.
What's up, man?
Wait, what?
His like muscle memory is still the same. Where like he's like, I'm gone, man, and then the girl holds up a phone and he goes.
Oh,
It's like he's still perfect. Or that he's still like his muscle memory is just like influence.
What's up, brother?
Yeah. Hey man,
Oh my
thanks
God.
for watching,
All right,
bro.
take care, bro.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Can you take it?
Can I take it?
He's gonna try the phone.
Sorry, I can't even. I'm absolutely gone. Holy fuck!
Boom, locks in.
Thank
Holy
you.
shit.
you can see it in his eyes too. He like locked in. Then the second the picture was over, you
And
saw
goes back
his
to
eyes.
wobbly
He was
eyes.
just like,
Yeah, he's like, oh man, I'm okay. I can't even take that.
Take care. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm having a great time right now. Oh my god. Holy shit. Let me go sit somewhere. Holy fuck.
So
Yeah,
it's,
I'm having a good time.
I can't for the life of me imagine watching these live. Like I appreciate the clips. Like I love it's like newly famous twink just OD'd at a Miami nightclub, and you're like, hell yeah, dude, send me the clip. But like just watching this is so that's the part that fascinates me because I was gonna look that up. Like I want to find out what his average live viewership is, and it's just I don't know, man. It is a fascinating, like obviously there's parts of it that are like fake or juiced up and all this other shit, but at the core, it's still people doing this. You know what I mean? Like these three still had to dress like this and meet up that day.
yeah, like they all, and I can tell that booth right there smells a lot like fucking cologne. And like there's a ton of fucking like just smells.
Oh my god. Holy shit. Holy fuck.
Drink some water. That'll make you feel better, bud.
Holy B. Dude.
And there is a part, the part of me that like goes, this is fake, is the part of me that like they don't change the camera angle like ever. They just show the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
But then also too, like they're all vapid retards that like would not. It's like, you know how like Logan Paul just didn't think like, hey, when I go to the suicide forest, maybe I take off my Toy Story hat and not include this in the video. Like no part of him even considered that. So there is like, that's why it's so hard to know how real and how fake any of this stuff is.
You know what's really funny? The only time I've ever defended Logan or Jake Paul has been the suicide forest. I'm like, you don't have a suicide forest if you don't want people to exploit your suicide forest.
Well, I don't know if it's marketed that way. I don't know if
they're
there's
doing nothing to stop it. They're like, you need to honor all the people that go in there to kill themselves. I'm like, Yeah, I mein, okay. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, or just
What are they gonna do? There's only so much you can do for an entire forest.
well, you know, that goes on to my what is it? My essentially my outlook of like what I think should be in society and like, you know, the stigma behind you know, suicide and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
It's kind of, so it's just more of that kind of thing of like, again, it's like my bridge talk of like saying like, stop documenting all these bodies in suicide forest. And it's like, if you don't want a suicide forest, then you should do something to help the people that feel the need to have to kill themselves.
Sure. But like you could still go to Logan Paul, like, hey man, when you're finalizing the
Yeah,
vlog, like it's psychotic you left the suicide forest thing in there.
it's just but it's also like one of those things of like, but now it's unfortunately I think them understanding it gets clicks. So like doing things, so even getting punched, overdosing, anything, like no matter what it is, like you going like, why would they just continue to stream like this? It's like either they're not noticing it or it's all fucking content. You know what I mean? Like it's everything is content.
That's kind of what I'm saying. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying is like like the people who do all these things, it like their brain is just entirely in content mode that it's like warped to the point that like I remember when the whole Logan Paul suicide forest thing happened, like I remember like one of the points I made is like everyone was like mad at him. I genuinely like felt sad for him because I realized I go like, oh, you're just in content mode every second of the day.
Yeah.
You at no like when you guys were watching the final edit, you at no point go, oh yeah, or even when you like approach the suicide forest, like in the video, he's going into like wowzers, what? And you're like, oh shit, dude, you can't turn it off. You're stuck. You're stuck, dude. You're stuck in the character. That made me feel like bad for him where I go like, oh yeah, probably. Because that's the other thing I was thinking about watching this clavicular thing. Like, you know, like he's a, you know, I think he's because like there's part of me watching that going like, man, these kids just filming themselves all the time. Like it's so interesting having like your first, you know, because this might be like the first time he's a young kid. This might be the first time he ever got like too fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And like having that documented, having these type of moments like documented all the time, constantly is like fascinating. And then on top of that, like just throwing yourself into content creation from a teenage age and like getting that big, it can't not like fuck with your perception of reality and shit.
That's essentially that was my thing with like the Paul brothers with that was like, look, everybody's saying how could they, how dare they, and all this shit, and like I get it, but it's also like that place exists. It is a real place, and like yes, they were not respectful at it or anything like that, but also like you said, you guys are the ones that created this monster. So like because you wanted to watch that guy fill a pool with fucking beanbags or whatever the fuck it was, or like you know what I mean, like they do all these weird like things where you're like you've watched them do a bunch of senseless things, and this is another thing that they're like you said. They feel like they either have to amp it up, and like the same thing. Well, I'll give this clavicular guy a break is because it's like it's a thing where like he's gotten to this point. I'm not gonna hate on him because he is popular. I don't understand it, but I also understand the pressure of a bunch of fucking dummies like me or worse saying the worst things they could possibly say because they hate you because for no reason or whatever. You know what I mean? So like there's probably a level of self-medication here where like there's a lot of pressure. He's got a bunch of strangers that want to take a picture for him. There might be imposter syndrome. I don't know. He's like you said, he's a young fucking kid.
Well, no, he's a looks maxer who fucking breaks his jaw to have like the, you know, like that's where I go, well, he's actually like I forget what the fucking thing's called, but he like breaks his jaw so it forms like fucking like so he can look like a Giga Chad. Like that's body dysmorphia to like the nth degree. So he's definitely fucked in the head.
So that's what I mean. Is like it's the same idea where it's not, you can't put it all 100% on them, but it's also like this is a situation where I don't think they even realized he was overdosing. They were just like, oh, he's messed up, so whatever. And I think once it happens, I think they do cut the stream. Do you know what I mean? Like,
well, I mean, I also too. I don't try to. I try to. That's why I live giving people the benefit of the doubt. Because like I'm looking at this, like, yo, this is crazy. And then I remember we literally did an episode of Panties where I made Nate laugh so hard he passed out. And then we were like, "You good?" And then we just finished the episode. So like,
Yeah.
we didn't pause to be like, "Hey, are you okay?" So like, I'm not shit. I get it. It just, I think, I don't know. They're just like more. It's more fun to laugh at these guys because they're like I do feel sympathy for them the same way I feel bad for the Paul brothers because I go like for the Paul brothers. There's part of me I go like there has to be these moments at night where they're just like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they're just like yeah, they're really good at being the bad guys and stuff like that, and they're like, man, I really thought like. I didn't think it was going to be like this, though. Like, I'm happy I'm rich. I just didn't think it was going to be because that does have to get like, it's one thing if you're a wrestler and you're a bad guy and they're booing you at the stadium. And it's like, no, they hate you at the mall. They hate you walking into the stadium. Those boos, whether you did a good thing or not, like they're real boos.
It's reaction. Like that's the thing is like that's a bunch of a lifetime of wrestling fans has kind of created this thing where we're like, hey, it's eliciting or it's eliciting a reaction, so it must be art, whether it's good or bad. It's causing a reaction. So I'm making people feel things.
Well, I hope people aren't. Well, I don't know if people should be calling the stream stuff art.
Well, I agree, but that's what I'm saying is that it is a form now. Like there's a whole fucking lane of entertainers. But the thing I want to clarify to Derek, I don't know if he lived or died. I don't know. I haven't heard anything else about it. Yeah.
I'd assume he's alive. That would definitely be all over social media if that dude died.
But I would. It's either way. He just basically took, I think, this substance that was like, it's like.
Oh yeah, what did he take?
It's like a paint solvent or some kind of thing that he took that when ingested, it metastasizes to GHB, I think, which is essentially the date rape drug. So
he date raped himself.
It's a weird thing where people take GHB to get fucked up. Like they it's kind of like I think ether is similar. I don't know.
I've heard ether, yeah.
Like that's the same kind of thing where it's like whippets or anything like that, where you're just like you just kind of redline your brain's like ability to function.
I just asked Grok real quick what happened. He said during the live stream from a bar restaurant, he appeared heavily intoxicated, slurring words, slumping over, and saying things like, I'm trying my best, but I'm fucking destroyed right now. Friend on stream asked him, when did you last take blue? What? Slang often referring to Oxycontin or a blue opioid pill, possibly fentanyl laced, and offered him an Addy. The stream cut off abruptly. EMS was called for a 20-year-old male overdose, and he was carried out and taken to the hospital in stable condition. What did he overdose on? The exact substance has not been officially confirmed by toxicology or Clavicular himself. Reports describe it as a suspected overdose involving unknown substance. Speculation online from stream context points to opioid, blue pill, possibly mixed with other drugs. His known history of using methamphetamines, testosterone, anabolic steroids. He overdosed on juicing.
He juiced Mac.
Possible mixing with stimulant like Adderall.
Yeah,
and then it just goes on his history of doing these things. Yeah, that yeah, he's gonna hurt himself if he keeps maxing this hard.
But I'm assuming it's some sort of self-medication. You know, he's probably he just did a fucking 60 minutes interview, and it's like that's when I was like, all right, what's happening? like I feel like there was always a divide. Well, again, you know, news at this point is kind of whatever. It's just kind of it's entertainment as well. But it used to be. I felt like at least that was like separate from popular culture. I guess no, because I guess Britney Spears and shit would be on Dateline or some shit for some reason.
Yeah,
I always think it's weird when they interview like people like that when they're just like. When they're still in their like really vapid stage, when they're just like, "Hi, I'm this," and they're just like, "So, what was it like growing up in Arkansas?" And they're like, "It was fun." I really like
Yeah.
it. And they just show
You're
a
really-
thing. We're like, what are you getting to the bottom of here?
You're really reminding me about my like ultimate beef with like people in general. Cause I'm like, well, no, it's just it's like they do that all the time with celebrities. I always saw like what I feel like they've laid off the Bert, like shitting on Bert as much. I'm sure there's still like an ecosystem of comedy drama channels that just pay their rent off of posting every week that the walls are closing in on Bert Kreischer. But
Yeah.
like I remember like I used to love the comedy drama channels, but I've said it before, but they're just not like now that I'm in comedy and I know a couple things, I just go like, oh, these aren't fun. I know you're wrong. Like,
Yeah.
I know how wrong you are, and then also they'll be talking about stand up, and I'll understand how wrong their perspective on things are. And like the thing that would always annoy me about the Bert stuff is like they'd always be like, well, yeah, he talks over people and he laughs really high pitched, and he kind of like he kind of like over exaggerates his stories. And I listened to Birdcast back in there. I go, yeah, he's been doing that the whole time. Like, that's his thing, man. Like, you guys built him up and then complained about all the stuff he's been doing the entire time.
Yeah, the things
And
that
it's
you
like,
said you liked about him.
yeah. And then it goes back to the like fucking, it goes like, that's what people do is like they build these people up. And then you have someone like Logan Paul who films himself in the suicide forest and puts it in the vlog. And people go, can you believe he did this? And I go, yeah, man.
Yeah.
And I go, that's not, we're all like, everyone gets so close and just, it's this continuous cycle on fucking everything all the time where you all get so fucking close and then you just drop the ball. And then it's like, no, the conversation isn't, can you believe? It's like, oh, we didn't, you're like, oh shit, people get themselves to this place. That's like the bigger conversation where it's like, why the fuck is this happening, man?
Yeah.
I can believe it. You know what I mean? It's just like, how did bro get here? You know what I'm saying? And then I don't know. It's all bad analysis and it annoys me.
But I think there's a segment of entertainment that is kind of hollowed out for people that we're going to, again, like you said, right, just bring them up just so we can fucking smash them down. But then at that point, the only thing is that thing you got popular. That's the thing that you've been making money off. So you just continued to do that. Like, and I think because like with all due respect to Britney Spears, she's not like the greatest fucking singer in the world. She was a pop star. So like for the first couple of years, they were like, you're the greatest thing in the world. You're the greatest thing in the world. And we're making you great in post. We're going to do this filter. We're going to add this thing. We're going to add this pyro for your shows. And then later on, they just stop investing in you as much. And then the real person comes out. And also the person.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I disagree with that because I wouldn't say they stopped investing with her in her. Cause like she was even when she was conservatorship,
yeah,
she was doing a lot of shit. Britney Spears never stopped making her camp money. I think that was the problem.
That's what I'm saying. They're not invested. They're not trying to like protect her anymore. They're just saying like we're just gonna now you're just a cash cow. They're not investing essentially to say like you're the greatest. They're like Britney, you have another concert. Come on, let's go. You know what I mean? Like they basically broke her to that point to become an industry for them. You know what I mean? Like that's whoever it was, the conservatorship,
I guess
the powers that be.
The distinction is like Britney's demand never dropped.
Like think about that. That's the conservatorship is the perfect example of what I'm talking about. Is the fact that you are acknowledging she is not fit to handle herself, but you are still making her work.
Yeah, that's why I feel bad
that's exactly what it is. Like they want to get all of the Justin Bieber. I'm sure they want to get on a conservatorship. They probably wanted fucking Michael Jackson on a conservatorship.
Well, I think with a lot of the musicians, from what I've noticed, is that Britney Spears, I think, is like the biggest example. Is they make their music, and then when it starts to go bad for these musicians, I believe is when the team around them realizes like, oh, we're not gonna make crazy money off of new shit anymore. Right. So that's when, because I think they were realizing that with Britney, and I think Britney just never had anyone Like I think her mom probably for a little bit, but I don't know. It
It's
seems
hard
like
to tell. Yeah, it's hard
it
to tell
seemed
because none of them seem good.
I've actually watched like I remember I've watched like 2 or 3 of the docs about her because I think people were always just like, "Oh, that's crazy Britney." And then I watched one and I was like, "Oh no, I think they turned her crazy.
Oh
I
yeah.
think they broke her fucking brain." And I think she might have had her mom in her corner for a little bit, but I think her mom at a certain point like threw her hands up. And she's like basically Britney Spears has just never had anyone in her corner for the right reasons ever.
Yeah.
And they've just been, the teams looking at her as a product. And then like you see it with a lot of pop stars. You see it where it's like, okay, and new music isn't going to really make that kind of money. So let's establish her as a personality. And that's where they make her do The Voice or whatever those shows were. And then boom, let's throw her into a Vegas show and shit like that. And she just like you see it with a lot of the pop stars that don't get out of that shit. They just get turned into like a fucking product.
And I think really what it is somebody I saw I think it was like somebody bring up this point on Instagram, and there was like, are all the one hit wonders just the people that didn't want to play ball with like all the crazy, entertainment shit? And you're like,
huge likelihood of that.
Because that's the thing is like, if you think about it, what would the appeal be? Because the entire time the entertainment industry is just telling you what's popular. It's not like this is popular. They take a thing and they make you like it.
Yeah.
And it's like, and then you're like, wow, I like this. And I'm not saying it's not even good. I'm not saying they don't make a good thing.
Yeah, because it's hard to do that if it's hard to do that if it's not at least a little bit good.
Right.
But like we've talked about it a million times where with TV shows, music, movies, the best is always the shit that like is right below the really popular shit. And from an artistic standpoint, it's always the best shit.
And once people started hate watching stuff, then they realize they don't have to put the effort in anymore.
And that goes back to a thing I wanted to bring up earlier is why when you're going like, why is this popular? You got to like, it sounds,
we've done this. This is the Kardashian model. This is what I'm saying is like,
but it's on par with us being like, they're doing it right in front of us. So I'm about to hit you guys with a catchphrase on par with that. But literally it's true. Even if it sounds corny, it's true. Follow the money. And because that's what you need to realize with these streamers. You go, who's watching this? And it's like people who love a fucking car crash. It's not, those aren't real. That's what I realized. Because I remember I'd watch all this shit. There's that dude Destiny who like debates people constantly. He's just talking about politics, just popping Adderall and talking politics all day. And he's like, I would watch his stuff out of curiosity. At first I was like, okay, he's an interesting left-wing guy. And then I'm like, oh, this guy's genuinely like dishonest and lying all the time. Yeah. And you'd see him and he would like admit to stuff where he's like, I don't actually like believe anything. I just want to win arguments. And you're like, and then I'm like, who likes this guy? And then I start reading all of his comments and I start reading the chat on his live streams. And it's just people fucking with him all day. And I go, because we've created this. Right. I mean, I feel like this person's probably existed the whole time, but there's this human being who just sits there and they go like, I just want to see things get destroyed and I want to see people go crazy.
And it's not like we have only 3 channels anymore. It's not like it was back in the fucking 60s, 70s, whatever. Like we have options to watch other things. So when I see something like clavicular, did I say that right? Clavicular.
I think it doesn't matter.
Okay, that's true. I agree, but I'm just fucking around. But it's one of those things where like I understand that I'm not the bar. I'm not the demo for this. I don't like it, and I'm not sitting here to rail against it and say this, piece of shit shouldn't exist. Blah blah blah. I can have my personal feelings about this guy, and he can also exist. But I think it still should be acknowledged when something is like a slop art or not entertainment or
like a net negative
things. Yeah, when it's something like that, we need to at least categorize it as that. That's like it for the performer's sake, for entertainment sake, and for everything else, to where we don't get to a point where like empires are built by Jake Paul and Logan Paul for being kind of a shitty thing like the whole time. Like just because you're consistently shitty doesn't mean you should be able to get to a point where you're like, I'm gonna make billions of dollars making people want me to get knocked out.
It's been
But
terrible the whole. That's so funny, dude.
that's all it is. Like and again, I was like a person that railed against the fucking Kardashians for the longest time, but now I'm just like, they exist. There's nothing I can do, and it doesn't even matter what I think. That's
Did
totally
you see
fine.
the?
I just won't intake their shit.
Did you see the Lamar Odom documentary on Netflix?
I saw that there was one that I saw the clip about him talking about this Bunny Ranch part.
That one actually made whatever Kardashian he was married to look like a fucking saint.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there was a lot of well, she did the kind of like half-assed admitting to fault where she's like, I didn't know any better, so I accidentally enabled that behavior for years and years and years.
Yeah.
And obviously the blame, like the ultimate blame goes on Lamar Odom, but the Kardashians are good at like, I'm sure they had a hand in that documentary and the framing of it.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying is like everybody goes like, oh, what's gonna, and then eventually they won't be able to make money off of them anymore, and then they will have their downfall. Like, and then they'll be like, what happened to them? They're the exact same. They're just telling you they're not relevant anymore, and you're going like, what happened to the dynasty? I'm hearing that they're what you said that with wrestling fans, where they have a theory and they say,
yeah.
and they say,
dude,
like, wouldn't it be cool? Wouldn't it be cool? And they're like, sources are saying this is going to happen. And you're like,
Yeah.
no, these are hypotheticals.
It's people just need to be better about like what is like, just because it gets your attention doesn't mean it's like good for your fucking brain. That's why I always joke where it's like, I try to tell Steph, like, I get it. Watch Housewives, but like, don't just watch.
Don't be a fan of Housewives. Watch it. Don't be a fan of it.
Well, that's why I get happy when I walk in and she's watching rewatching the TV. Like right now, she's rewatching. What up, King Cujo? She's rewatching Sons of Anarchy right now, and it's like, yeah, you
just sucks.
That's fine.
Don't tell her I said that. Also, don't tell Dom.
It's all good. I've accepted your taste in media anyway. So how many times we've disagreed about movies? Actually, that's what really helped me with a little bit of THC last night. Dude, I'm so like the type of crazy I am. I'm so bad at like watching a thing and then I think about people saying why that thing would be stupid. And it's like, because I don't know, I lock in myself so closely with the things I like, where like I still have that thing where it's like, well, if you make fun of the thing I like, you're making fun of me. It's not like an overwhelm, but it's still like there. And it still like hangs. And I think everyone does that to a degree. You know what I mean? Like, because the art you like is, you're passionate about it and you feel close to it. And then I took a couple sips of some THC soda and I was like, it was just funny. I don't even know if the thoughts went away. I was just able to be like, hey guys, shut up.
Yeah.
No one fucking asked.
Yeah. That's the beauty of it. Is the beauty of it is like it helps to amplify your perspective.
Yeah.
Oh wait. I don't care.
It made all that stuff way easier. It made all that stuff way easier to like not to like ignore the static shit.
That's why out of all of the self-medications there are, aside from I feel like alcohol is kind of similar too, because
100%.
You know what I mean? Like it's a thing where you shouldn't be reliant on it and it shouldn't be the answer to your problems, but it's a situation where if it's what do I like to unwind? Some people like to go back home, smoke a bowl, just relax and watch some TV. Other people like to like, it's literally, I've tried to explain that to so many people where it, like the way I started using weed was like, it was my glass of wine. I would wait till the end of the day. I would, and I was actually after I'd quit smoking cigarettes, and I would like go out to bat. It was still the ritual of it. It was about me just going outside and doing this thing. It's turned into self-medicating, but it's also a situation where it's like, it's also recreational. It's also, the again, different forms have different meanings. Like the ritual taking out the accoutrement, get the bowl out, pack a bowl, clean it out, all this other stuff. It's just nice to have it feels like a reset. So like if somebody goes home, pours himself a little glass of whiskey or something like that, and sits down, sips it, and watches the news or whatever, that's the kind of shit that I'm talking about. And I think you would be able to do that with any kind of drug if the other ones weren't so dangerously addictive.
Well, the difference is when people go like, why did you start smoking weed? Oh, it just helped me kind of like shut my brain off for a minute. And then you go, why'd you guys start doing heroin? Oh, it was the first time I felt the warm embrace of love. And you're like, oh, that's why people decide to do that instead of live in a house.
That's why I don't recreationally do like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not just like, I'm just going to go home and relax and do some heroin. It's like,
there is that one, he's like a professor or something. He's got that book where it's like doing drugs for adults or something like that. And he just writes a whole book on like, you can do heroin and not be a fucking retard about it.
Yeah. That's the other thing is, I can't remember who it was. I feel like it might have been like a libertarian candidate. Maybe. I don't know. It might have been. I think it might have been. What's up, PA Kevin?
What up?
But there's I think it was Ron Paul, somebody, whoever it was, but you'll probably know. I don't know. But they said if they made heroin legal tomorrow, would you?
Yeah, it's one. It's one of the best Ron Paul clips ever.
And I gotta say, that's one of the most compelling pro-drug arguments I've ever heard. It's not even pro-drug; it's pro-choice. It's literally pro-choice.
That's a word game you're playing.
It's a choice. It's a choice to do something with my body, just the same as any other pro-choice question. It's a private property issue. If I own anything in this world, it should be my body.
Yeah.
So as long as it's not negatively affecting anyone else, I should be able to do anything I want to my body.
Yeah. But then
I'm 100% pro-choice.
Yeah. But then sometimes when people talk about pro-choice, they talk about a living person inside their body. But we've already had that argument. No, the Ron Paul clip is fucking epic because it's like this thing where people are so like, and then he says it and they're like, oh, that's a really good point. Because it's like it's the problem with like how people view laws and shit in general is they just go like, well, that's a bad thing, and we don't want the bad thing to happen, so we got to make a law saying no bad stuff. And then it's like, well, when you zoom out and see like the application of laws and what really happens, that's why people say like, just because you think something's bad doesn't mean you should necessarily make a law for it. And Ron Paul's saying like, it's like, yeah, you have the freedom to do whatever you want with, you have the freedom to do whatever you want, but also people have the freedom to stay the fuck away from you. He was making the point about saying he'd legalize all drugs. And then he goes, so you're saying it's okay to do heroin, which is just not what he fucking said. Yeah. And he said what you said. He goes, if all drugs were illegal today, would you guys go out and do heroin? And the whole crowd's like, oh no, I guess I wouldn't do that. Yeah. Oh, I guess we can think outside of the pre-established binary that everyone, forces upon us.
Right. And ultimately it should be, it is a situation where it's like, this is what I want to do to my, and that was ultimately my thing with like the trans argument. It's like, I'm not arguing anybody should be able to change genders. Yeah. It was like, that was a thing of like, it's just like, get off my fucking ass about it. Like, don't sit there and go like, like all this shit. Like, if you're not gonna,
well, like any of those conversations, it should be because everyone puts like good or bad and all this like morality shit on it. And it's like, especially from the libertarian standpoint, it's all just like, how do you view reality and people's rights? And as a human being existing, because you're not a slave and no one owns your body and no one can tell you what to do with your body, you're allowed to do whatever you want to it. Now, it's very important to have extensive information about what you're going to do with your body. So it's like, you have the right to do heroin, but like, hey, let's look at all the history of people doing heroin. And you need to realize that's probably a really bad fucking choice. And you
Yeah.
have the right, you have the right to be trans, but look up the information and go, maybe don't get bottom surgery, because that might be that might not be a chill time.
But that's the thing, is like it's a thing where like you have the freedom to educate yourself and to make the decision for yourself in any of those situations except for suicide and drugs. And it's like, you know what I mean? Like when
What do
suicide,
you mean you can make the decision on suicide?
well, it's illegal. Suicide
Yeah.
is against the law. Like that's what I'm saying, is like you have these arbitrary things where it's
illegal doesn't mean anything.
Well, I mean, in our eyes, yeah, but like
No,
I'm
it
saying,
means
like
illegal just means, what are the cops gonna do? What are the governments?
they're gonna put you in a box if you don't kill yourself successfully. They're
gonna put you in a box
lock
either
you.
way. You can get it. I mean, unless you jump off the bridge and the rapids take you away.
It's about the amount of padding I'm talking about, though. If it's a coffin, that's the minimal amount of padding, or they're gonna put you in a big box with a lot more padding. And either way, you're gonna get, like, if you kill yourself, they're going to force you into medical care for 30 days. I think it is 30. What is it? 3130. There's like a thing. And I don't know if all states do that, but it's like a thing where, like, if you attempt
30 for 30, it's about
30 for 30. It was ESPN.
Randy Moss grew up in a small town and, just had all the disadvantages, but still made it out.
Man, there wasn't any padding.
That's a light. That's the only street light we have.
We just had a box. We just had a cardboard box. We all had to share.
Fucking dude ever.
They had
yeah.
Oh, but no, but so like it's a thing where, like, and again, it's a situation where it's meant for what?
Yes, dude, I love the non-binaries. No.
But I just think it's like a situation where, like, you make these things like bad, like you said, you attach morals to choices, and it's kind of a thing where you're like, that is usually how we make choices. What do you feel?
I was gonna say that's not bad. To me, that's not bad. Adding morals to choices, that's kind of like what you need to maneuver the world in a healthy way.
But then you add laws to that, and it's like, well, like, you kind of, I understand that, but it's also like, this is a thing where I'm like, if you're doing heroin, yes, you could overdose, you could harm yourself. Maybe people have to come in and do that. You might even get in that situation. You could get forced into drug treatment after being, if you accidentally overdose or anything like that. But I just kind of feel like those situations should be more, those are so much more personal. They're my body, my choice kind of situations, in the same situations, like in any of those. I think that argument spans a lot more genres of argument than just the abortion thing. I think it's drugs, suicide, transitioning, any of that shit. And it's like, and if you kind of do that and you go like, well, what's the legal age? If you keep the same thing of like, you can't legally attempt suicide until you're 18, but like maybe up the age, like for like car rentals, like make it 25. But if you're going to attach laws and rules to this, it just needs to be another situation where, like, I kind of just feel not accepted or normalized, but it's just not as stigmatized as like other choices we make that don't harm anybody else.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we've talked about this before. I'm perfectly fine with the stigma on suicide. I think it would definitely, if everyone just knows, like, just don't do that. It's bad. You'll probably figure it out. And, I think you'll make everyone who loves you miserable for the rest of their lives. So I'm okay with, but also, when we get to a technical argument, like, I agree. Like, you shouldn't, everyone should be allowed, it's this weird like philosophical thing that does actually bug the fucking shit out of me, where it's like, I would, I would never kill myself, but is this weird thing where, like, now the state has to get involved because I got too sad. Right. Like, there's something philosophical about that does bug the fucking shit out of me.
Like it's a thing where, like, there's, and this is a very, like, this is a poor example, but this is the first thing that came to mind. Like
Well,
sometimes
they're the only ones you have.
cars are manufactured. You can have 6
I'm
different.
calling you poor, not stupid, just to clarify.
Oh, it's fine. But you have let's say we're the same model of car, right? We have different things.
1992 van.
Yeah, Safari, Astro van. No, but if we have essentially there's like cars come off the manufacturing thing. They're on the same manufacturing floor. They're manufactured essentially supposedly the same way, but they have different problems and they have different issues. And sometimes you get a fucking lemon. I think sometimes you get a fucking lemon, and that's okay. That's not a thing that doesn't mean you don't try to fix it. Doesn't mean you don't go to the mechanic, but at a certain point, you might need to trade it in. Do you know what I mean? Like, and it's a situation where I'm not saying that it's the answer. It's not saying as soon as you get a flat tire, you go, get the fuck rid of this car. I'm out of here. You know what I mean? Like it's a thing though. If you take the car to the mechanic every month and you're like, oh, now it's the fucking radiator. I didn't know there was a problem with this radiator. Oh yeah, this model. Oh, was this made in January? Yeah, this is a lot of problems with this model. It's just a cycle of life. It's happen. You don't think that happens in nature? And even let's just say of how many people are created.
It's not about it happening. Like it's not like it's not about like it happens, but it's like it's more about just being like, yeah, man, don't do that. And also I can't talk. With your analogy, you're not trading in a car. You're going, this doesn't work.
You don't know that. None of us know what happens after life. None of us know.
You're not. That's okay.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is like those are a thing that we need to acknowledge. None of us know what happens. None of us know.
So, but like, are you going to normalize suicide because reincarnation might exist?
I'm not. I want you to know that I'm not advocating, and I'm not trying to normalize. I'm trying to destigmatize a choice that adults should be allowed to make without judgment and without the. And I'm not saying don't help. That's what I'm saying is like I would never advocate. I think the suicide hotline is a resource. I think you should also reach out to family and friends if you have that available. Anybody that you think you can trust, try it. Because that's the thing is the problem I feel like that happens with a lot of things is because of the stigma. If somebody were to say, "Hey, I'm having these thoughts or feelings," they immediately go like, "No, that's wrong. You don't want to do that. Stop that." And it makes you feel bad for having those feelings.
Well,
but those feelings can be normal, and nobody chooses to have those feelings.
Wait, let me ask you, what's the stigma specifically that you're talking about?
The fear, people's fear of the unknown and of death. That stigma is, I think, is a huge core problem with what I think what I consider a stigma around of suicide. Or the choice of suicide, to where if you have somebody that says like, if you feel like you're having those thoughts or feelings and you reach out to somebody and they say like, it's denial. It's not necessarily listening. They're just immediately trying to talk you off the ledge and not figure out why you got on the ledge. And that can happen through therapy and that's through other things. But we all know the mental.
Okay, you're more talking about just the react because I agree with that.
That's the stigma. Is what is you saying it's a wrong thing and it's bad.
Well, saying you're going to kill yourself, you should go. That's wrong and bad. Saying you want to, I think, is a much more real emotion.
It's real. That's a real thing. Yeah,
that's what I'm trying to say. But there's a difference between. Because it's one thing to go if someone's on the ledge, it's one thing to have that because people get uncomfortable with this shit. I've experienced it. It's why it's really annoying talking about like depression with people because either people go, "That's not real. That's all in your head." Which,
oh, you shouldn't feel that way.
Which
you're wrong, and it's like
every time I hear someone say it's all in your head, you go, "No shit, dumbass. That's what I'm saying."
I'm trying to get it out of here. I'm trying to talk to you.
They'll say like, yeah, either people respond like that's not real, it's all in your head, or they turn you into like this charity case. That's why I hate looking up a lot of stuff about like I was doing it yesterday. I was looking up stuff about autism because I was like, I think I have it. I just have to figure out like what brand of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, what
And
model?
every fucking video you look up on any of these topics, whether like mental health stuff, it's always someone being like, "Hey there, little guy.
Yeah.
Hey, I know you're feeling."
I'm gonna help you deal with this problem.
So
And
I
it's
get
like,
I get that when people talk about that stuff, when people say I'm on the ledge, I'm 6 feet from the edge, and I'm thinking that was so good. When people say like when people say I'm on the ledge, and then people turn into like cunts or little babies about it, I go, yeah, it's like we definitely have a super
they're like, no,
unproductive
no,
way
no,
of
no, no,
talking
don't.
about like suicide and mental health and stuff like that. I just think when it comes to the idea of like, I think destigmatize the weirdness you feel of
choice.
feeling bad.
Yeah.
I think, but I would still say, like, if I'm going up to someone on the ledge, I'd be like, hey, first off, jumping off this, not an option.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna like treat them like they're a charity case. That's been
Yeah.
my thing my whole life, why I hate talking about this stuff. That's why I remember, like, I don't think therapy is perfect, and I don't think you should look at therapy as this thing you just go to once a week.
Right.
But
It should be, you should be working. You should be trying to solve things. It's like the gym. It's the same thing as the gym. Address something.
I remember I went to therapy one time though when I was still at Uline in Pennsylvania, and I went to therapy, and I remember telling this lady a whole bunch of shit and watching her face like not even react. That actually made me feel better than anything else at that point. Just going like
no judgment. Yeah.
It's why well, I'll get a little autistic on that. I don't even think it's like, yeah, maybe, yeah, you know, I got to think about this more. Yeah, you know what? No, I do agree with you. Judgment isn't.
It's by your reaction. It's like a thing where like I will feel judged because it's such a vulnerable situation that if I were to go like, hey man, I was really in a dark place. I told you, brother, I talk about my depression as much as I can. There was a full day. Like I've told you about this. I joke about it, but it was a dark moment. Not at any part was there any self-harm thoughts necessarily, but there was a lot of like helpless.
Wait, when was this?
A year ago.
Oh yeah,
or something.
No, I remember
that.
There's literally
in my closet. I laid in my closet all day and I just stared at the ceiling.
Wait, you were in the closet?
Yep. I don't know why. I just that's where I felt the most comfortable, the most safe. I laid down and I looked up, and that's it.
I used to do that as a little kid. If something about the closet felt nice,
but it's just a like existential thing that I think we all go through. That like it was like I said when I went I was at the doctor and he said like, do you suffer from depression? I was like, I don't suffer, but like I was like I just got the normal. You know, like how every once in a while you just kind of like wonder, like, what, am I doing in any of this right?
What's the point of it?
What's the point of it? And he just kind of goes, and I go like, that doesn't feel good because I know even as a doctor, you've had that thought. You've been like to say that nobody like maybe, okay, you know what? That's a crazy generalization. I'm sure there's probably somebody that's privileged enough that hasn't recognized that feeling. But I feel like everybody has felt that like emptiness, that kind of like, and that's the thing is, and it's not that like that is a good portion of people that self-harm is people that don't feel comfortable talking about that. And then I think there's another good portion of people that are like terminally ill, that are like, that have tried a lot of things that can't find an answer, that like, I think that something like not state sponsored, but like assisted programs could be beneficial. And it turns into when Dr. Kevorkian does it, Dr. Death, this guy's going in there, he's just killing these old people. And it's like, watch the tapes of their interviews and they're saying, I'm done. I don't want to be here anymore. And if I try to do it myself, I think I don't want to do that to my family, or I don't want to like, brother, just give people the option. And like, I feel like suicide rates will go down, if anything, because then you can take that you have that thing, but also maybe you can just try to work on destigmatizing when somebody says something like that, not making them feel wrong or broken or like, or
Yeah.
something like that. Like try to empathize, listen to some people.
This
you know?
this is what I wanted to, because as you were talking, I was also kind of thinking about the judgment thing. And I was like, well, wait, like, yeah, but no, but yeah. Cause like I was thinking about like if you and me, like if you and me live together again. What? Oh, suicide. Oh, you heard him say suicide rape.
I
That's so
apologize.
funny.
Raped.
Like if you and me,
The other stuff that'll stay.
if you and me live together again, and like say I bring home like a case of beer,
I'll
and
kill
then
myself.
and I go, finally, good.
Oh,
I was
good,
hoping,
Andy. Nice.
I was hoping, I was really hoping you wouldn't drink any of these beers. And thank you, Pat. No, like say I bring home like a case of beer. I have 1 or 2 beers and go to sleep. I wake up, you've drank the other 28 beers. And like, now, should there be some judgment? Yeah, a little bit, but also more so because that's completely out of character for you. I'd be like, hey man, what's up? You good?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I think a lot of people, it's honestly, it like a lot of people just see these things and they don't zoom out
They
and
project.
they don't zoom out. Like they just think about themselves like you drank all my beers and like
Yeah.
you're bad. And like you don't think for a fucking second like, oh, my buddy Pat who never gets that drunk, why would he slam 28 beers in one night and he's covered in his own puke, which that part's normal, but it's a little bit more than there was.
Usually there's a lot more Wendy's in the puke. It just
I
is
go,
a lot of beer.
well, no, there's puke, but no piss. That's the worrisome part.
He always pisses himself. Are you
He
okay,
loves
buddy?
pissing himself. Why did he piss himself?
Right. There should be that it should be met with a level of empathy instead of like going into a doctor's office of like, okay, I feel this way. Well, let's just get you some pills so you don't. Like,
I will say,
well, why do I feel this way? Like, can we
I will say I do think people don't like if you go, there are some people I genuinely believe who it's like, you ever like sit and just feel nothing matters and you just have this overwhelming emptiness that freaks you out. And I go, I think there's a reason Big Bang Theory is real popular. Like, like I remember I was driving with a comic one time and I threw on a podcast and it was like, this isn't the best example, but it's just what popped into my head. But I remember I threw on a podcast about, I'm a big fan of MK Ultra, and there's like a program within MK Ultra that was Operation Midnight Climax, where they would they would use hookers to get Johns and like drug them and do all this other different shit. And then they would just be fucking CIA agents behind a two-way mirror, just being like, yep, that guy's getting fucked by a hooker. This is tax dollar. And I like played it. And I remember the person with me was like, what is this? He's like, why do you care about this? And I'm sitting there like, this doesn't pique your interest even a little bit.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah,
interesting. And there's people that just like, and not to throw my mom under the bus because I don't think she's a dumb person, but again, it's so funny. I think people just don't want to hear me talk about MK Ultra. Because no, I just think about this because it was again, I brought it up somehow when me and my mom were driving down here to Texas, and my mom pauses, which this is what I appreciate about my mom. She does not care about a lot of the stuff I care about, but she doesn't make me feel bad just because she doesn't like it. And she goes, huh, interesting. Yeah, I don't have the time to worry about that stuff. She's like, I forget exactly how she said it, but she's just like, yeah, I don't find much interest in stuff like that. It was just I was like, oh yeah, you just kind of like, there's people who just like, they don't worry about that.
Yeah. Like it's a very matter of fact kind of thing of like, okay, like, and I have those situations too, but what? Sorry.
No, I was gonna ask you because this is a thing I catch myself doing that I actually go like, because it's not helpful because I don't feel like I'm ever gonna get the right answer, and I think it's the kind of information that reveals itself through just living life rather than like researching it. But like I get like sideswiped all the time by like, what's the meaning of life? Why are we here and stuff like that? Do you? And then like that to me ends up being this like big overwhelming thing. So yeah, and then I end up getting anxious or grabbing a beer or something like that. Do you worry about that stuff? Or I'm not worry, think about that stuff.
I would do a thing like, so I'll do like every once in a while I do a thing of like, I just think about like how fragile like a body is. and like I shiver. I just go like, oh, I shudder. You know, like it's a thing where I'm like, it really shocks me to my core. But the meaning of life thing, and I think honestly, and I will say, stemming from that first beautiful fistful of mushrooms, like I'm taken out a little bit more, and I'm understanding more of like that was like the first stage, and that was probably like 8 or 9 years ago, maybe. I don't even like it was that was like when I started to understand what it is. And then actually just recently, I think I got to the next stage of it. I don't know if I fully understand it yet, but this is the best interpretation I have so far to date. Is life is the meaning in like the meaning of life is literally just is life. Like it is existence. Because if you remember, you don't remember anything before you were born. And from what most people know, like and even though I like ghost stuff and all that stuff, I don't truly believe in necessarily that's like a spooky ghost. I think there's something else involved, but so it's not even like we don't even necessarily know what happens after. So literally, the meaning of life is the game, is life. Is it's a if you think of it as a game, it's utterly it's pointless. It doesn't really serve any real purpose. But if you were in the game, you would then it's everything. So it doesn't matter if you're in Quake, it doesn't matter if you're in GTA, it doesn't matter if you're in Spider-Man. Like it's all open world to you.
Yeah.
And you are in the thing, whether you're an NPC, whether you're a main character, it doesn't matter. NPCs exist. they have things. You don't always see them. You don't know what they're always doing. So maybe you are just that. So like what would you do? You have the choice. It's the freedom. It's the experience. You have been given a gift and you get to choose what you do with it. Sometimes you don't like your layout, and sometimes you jump off a building so you can respawn somewhere. You know what I mean? And maybe, or maybe that's the end of the match, and you don't get to respawn. You got to go back to the lobby.
Yeah.
So that's literally how I kind of view it now. Is just you're in the game, you're in it. We're all here. Maybe it's a Matrix, maybe it's aliens, maybe it's fucking Jesus Christ is real, maybe nuclear war happens. Doesn't matter. You know you don't have control over that in the game. You can set it on easy, you can set it on difficult, but you're still gonna fall off a fucking ledge. You can try to speed run Mario, you can speed run life if you want, or you can just end up being like just kind of useless. Homeless people are just the people in the lobby that are like shooting at a door or running around in a circle or something like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like
they're the guys who are trying to get a 5-star and see if they can outrun the cops.
Yeah. they know they're in the game. Yeah, they know they're in the game, but they're just like, whatever. You know what I mean? Like it's just it's whatever your game is. It's like how you sort it out. It's how you load up. It's how you make your money. You could lose all your money. You could get it all back.
That's why I've actually I've shifted, because I think the idea of playing a game and competing and winning is like instilled in every single human being. Because like, so I'm listening, I'm not re-listening, but I got like decent way through it and then bailed on it because the book was so long. But I got this book. Rise and Fall of the Third Reich, just talking about like the Nazis and shit, just seeing what's going on there. They probably just need fresh eyes. They need Dr. Andy to look at the case. And so I just get done. I go, bad.
Andy, no likey.
But no, there's that's just my influencer thing that just goes out of way. I thought this was about mozzarella sticks. How is he taking down dictators?
Yeah, Andy, no likey.
But like the thing, I don't know if this is going to be controversial, but the thing people need to realize is like normal human beings are way closer to like a Hitler type than they think they are. It's what I was joking about this with someone recently where I go, I think I think like the difference between like normal and bad, like good and bad people in the modern, in like the understood context is like how many, like, I think all the bad people are the ones that like really tried to make their worldview come true. Cause that's really, cause like I've started to notice like the way people look at, like, it's the reason people can't see the problems with the government all the time is because they look at, like, you can tell everyone low key is in their head, like, well, if I was in charge, everyone thinks they're like, well, I'd be like a nice dictator. And then you have to consider, like, there's probably a lot of dudes who thought that they just had way more sadistic follow through than you
Yeah.
did and
Yeah.
shit like that. And so, fuck, I forgot the original point I was going to make. You were talking about life being a game, and then, I don't know. I lost the point.
The homeless people in the lobby.
But anyway, yeah. So yada yada yada. Hitler's really cool, I think, is what I was trying to get at. No, I don't know. But
Yeah.
it'll come back. I lost it. I'm sorry. I'm a huge pothead, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's got a big CBD craze.
I can't stop drinking sodas. I'm such a huge fucking pothead.
I also my point essentially is like how Dom and I view life a lot of times is like experiences.
Sorry, I got it back real quick if you don't mind. No, because I remember like I think a lot. Oh, it's why I stopped. I used to be so negative towards video games and shit because I was like, oh, it's a huge waste of time. And I go, I don't know, man. I think there's a lot of people who, because I realized it when I downloaded Space Marine. Do you know that game, Warhammer Space Marine? You're just like you're a giant dude just running around slashing up bugs with a giant knife and a gun and stuff like that. And I'm playing the game going like, man, I'd love to actually do this. Like, there's a part of me that just goes like, yeah, I do really want to get rid of the alien infestation upon the world with my, gun knife that I have. You know what I mean? And I go like, oh, but I think a lot of us just, I play Magic the Gathering a lot. We all get satisfied with the simulation of it. It's why football's so popular. I think a lot of us get really satisfied with the simulation version of it. I think a lot of the bad people that like take over the world is they're not sustained by like the video game version, watching a movie or, things like that. They want to actually physically do the world domination. And, I guess I'm trying to make the point sort of off what you're saying is life is a game. I think that instinct is in all of us. I just think certain people go about it in a very unconstructive way.
Well, there's also the people that are just doing too much. Like, the people in the lobby where like every time you spawn, like, and you start walking away, they just shoot you again. You're like, what the fuck, man? Like, and then you just see them running around the whole map and you're like, all right, overachiever.
Or they hack the game. They hack the game and start cheating so they can kill you super fucking quick.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like shit like that, where you're just like, that's the kind of thing I feel about certain people that are like, again, those are the people that are religious, but they find loopholes, or the politicians that, criticize you about this, but then do the world's most evil shit in the world. Like
Republicans are such cunts, and then grinder usage goes up whenever they have GOP conventions.
Yeah, like you're doing things like, it would be one thing if you were like morally not condoning it. That's one thing. But if you're actively trying to make laws against it and you're placating you're actually involving yourself in those things, like, come on, man. You have to understand it's nuts. I just feel like
futs.
Take it easy. But like,
sorry.
It's just Pat's show now. It's just about like, so it kind of comes down to like, what would you do in the game? What do you want to do? Like, go to each town and try to go there, find out what's going on there. If it sucks, then you leave that town, you go back here and you figure out the next thing. Like, that's all it is. You're just doing missions and shit all day. Like, you have your money thing that you have to do. You have it. We've been
the government is just there to force you to do bullshit side quests.
Yeah, that's the computer. They're the computer. You know what I mean? Like whether it's and you also have to realize, like, not having that, doing the things at least that mimic control or choice or whatever. So like things like going to San Antonio for popcorn, like that's something that
allegedly,
well, we didn't get popcorn because it turns out there wasn't a movie that we wanted to see. Well,
Yes.
there might be apparently that we
Might be.
didn't realize. What's that? The one that Lemaire was talking about.
K-pop Demon Hunter.
I was like, I don't think
Yeah.
that's what it is.
No, it is. It is. Remember, he said they said, sir, you can only watch this 2 times a day.
Something
Like
about
you're watching it you're coming here too often. With the pigtails. No, it was the Ryan Gosling space one.
I know. I can't think of the whatever. Yeah, what the Ryan
Operation.
Gosling.
It's something. Operation Project Hail Mary.
Hail Mary. Yeah, that's what it was. So yeah, the loopholes. Oh yeah, sorry.
Put it on the board, Pat.
Loopholes. Yeah, I'll put it on the board when we get there next week.
Put it on the board.
But so like going to, oh yeah, so we basically checked out. Yeah, Project Hail Mary. We were trying to find a movie that we would want to watch. I thought Mortal Kombat was out too. Mortal Kombat 2.
I am laughing. It is very funny to drive all the way to San Antonio and not double checking the movies.
No, we double checked before. We double checked because we were like, we wanted to make sure. And she's like, well, I don't think there's anything that you would want to see, is how she puts it, because she watches everything. She'll watch literally anything.
Mhm.
So, and I legitimately wanted to go because of the popcorn. They have a big machine in their lobby, and I'm assuming you buy a bucket somewhere or whatever, and you can add your own butter, and you dispense. It's like a big soda machine of popcorn. So you just dispense your popcorn, and that's unlimited.
And you Googlered out and said, I got real involved with that.
I fucking no, I went MJ. I took it personal. I was like, you don't think all I can eat? Okay, buddy, we'll see. And I wanted to, so like you're
just eating bucket after bucket, and they're like, "This is fine. This cost us $5."
Yeah, this is okay. And it was
popcorn.
Like,
I'll show you. I'll show fucking you. You're like, popcorn's the cheapest thing on earth. It's like you're still losing money after your 5th bucket. You're still losing money.
It's also probably one of my all-time favorite snacks. I love
popcorn.
Yeah, as far as savory snacks go,
Brother.
I think popcorn goes above chips to me.
Brother, that's why you're my Steph.
Oh, why?
Steph loves popcorn so much. It's like her top thing.
I make some of the best homemade popcorn, but I'll do the microwave stuff. I'm not bougie. I don't give a fuck. I'll do anything. Air pop.
What's your
popcorn?
What's your homemade popcorn style?
Oh, Dutch oven, not farts. Haha, guys. But I take the Dutch oven and I essentially just salt. I use high quality salt, high quality butter, and I listen to the popcorn. I hear it, and my yield is pretty beautiful. As far as like the yield is what I refer to is how much popcorn have you successfully popped without burning it, leaving the least amount of kernels.
How many of the kernels have you popped while still having none of the currently popped ones burnt?
The chicken skin of the snack, the best part of the best part is the half cooked pieces at the bottom, baby. I love those motherfuckers. So I love popcorn. So we were gonna go to San Antonio because they have unlimited popcorn buckets, and honestly, we probably could have just watched whatever she wanted. I wouldn't have given a fuck. I was there for the popcorn.
I very rarely.
Hold on.
I very rarely.
Did I send that to you? Oh yeah, I sent that video to you.
You sent me the video. Oh yeah, I'll pull the video up. I'm very rarely not down to watch something she wants to watch, because also too, the way I am, knowing that she's enjoying it, even if I'm like whatever about it, it just makes me. I hate throwing on something that I know she's just gonna like pretend to like, because like I can watch this on my own. It's not gonna be enjoyable knowing you're not enjoying this.
I'll at least be able to talk about it, good or bad.
I will say, I gotta watch myself on that, because I did ruin she was watching some documentary about one of those lady bands like L7 or something like that. And I remember it happened a while. I wouldn't shut the fuck up. And she was like, I'm really trying to like enjoy this, and you're just calling it gay the whole time. And I was like, oh, I thought that's what we do. I thought we analyze cinema. And she was like, no, can you please stop saying the thing I like is stupid the whole time it's on?
And you're like, okay, I like it now.
Yeah, you're like, I love it. Now, the only thing I don't do anymore is just because, we've talked about it before, the true crime stuff. It either really bums me out, And then if it's a limited series, it's going to be 3 episodes of them re-interviewing the mom saying, "Hey, how is your daughter being dead making you feel really?"
Yeah. What was it like that morning? You're like, we're starting with the morning.
Dude, I remember I got to a point where I was like, she would watch Wrongful Convictions all the time. And I was legit like, yo, these are making me sad. It's just, I can't watch another documentary about a guy being in jail for 20 or 30 years and then the cops going, whoopsies. All right. We ruined your life off a lie. You got raped a bunch in jail because we're stupid. And you're like, Jesus Christ.
Brother, I got hyped when you brought this up again. I was like, man, maybe I'll just go see Super Mario or something. I don't give a shit. Look at this. They haven't let you put butter on your popcorn in a while at movie theaters.
Yeah. How much is that bucket?
Oh my God, I don't care. I'll buy it.
It's gotta be like $30.
Take my money. Take my money. I'll eat your
I
popcorn.
will say, yeah, the movie popcorn, because people always focus like, oh, it's actually like people focus on the price and all those other things, but no, I think it's the big ass machine. Just makes it different.
There's something about it, and like, brother, what is it? If I win the lottery, I won't tell anybody, but there'll be signs. It'll be me with a fully restored 1994 Bronco, and a popcorn maker. Those two signs, and you're like, man, Pat must have hit it big. He must have gotten $33,000.
You know what mine will be? We're talking big ass machines. I just thought of this. Mine will be, you'll come over and I'll have a house with a basement, or if we're still in Texas, a side room, and you'll just notice a full arcade, just Time Crisis machines as far as the eye can see.
Oh, brother, yeah, absolutely,
brother.
Air hockey table too. A professional air hockey, the one that goes ding ding ding.
Dude, I forgot how much I liked air hockey until I want to say it was like the Mothership Christmas party. They had an air hockey table set up, and you do that thing where you're like, Lemaire's like, let's play it. I go, sure, whatever. And then you're in it. You're like, I can't let you get close. I can't let you get close. Yeah, no, dude. But like, actually relating it to movie popcorn, one of my favorite memories as a kid was getting to the movies early and playing Time Crisis with my dad.
Yeah.
You know, and like, and also Time Crisis, and then the ones where you step on the pedal and your guy pops out and then you fucking take the people out.
Oh, hell yeah.
Playing whatever the Simpsons side-scrolling one was.
Nice. Yeah, Dom has this like, it's a weird thing where like we have a tradition where, I mean, it's not necessarily always the movie theater, because back in St. Pete, we would go to Treasure Island Fun Center. Shout out to Treasure Island Fun Center.
Shout out to Treasure Island Fun Center.
And we would get like Groupon or something like that, because most of them are kind of failing. And we would get Groupon or whatever, and we would spend like a half a day or like a good couple hours at an arcade. And a good portion of that was a best of 7 air hockey tournament between Dom and I, and it was competitive, brother. I have turned her into quite the competitor, but come on, who's gonna win? It's gonna be me. But yeah, eating arcade pizza, drinking soda, and fucking playing air hockey. That's the same tradition. Essentially, we'll go to the movies. If they have an arcade, we will play air hockey either before or after the movie.
I really appreciate. I see this comment because I think I'm having it. Not I think I know I'm streaming this on my personal YouTube as well, but I will record a Callous Cowboys reaction to that later. Not on stream today, but I will record that later for you. Yeah, I appreciate. Like, whenever you see the movie theater dying, I gotta be honest. I look at that and I go, "That's your own damn fault." Like there's so much like creativity you can have at a local movie theater.
This was like, I'm willing to drive an hour to see a movie there, as opposed to the ones here, because of your shtick. I like your shtick. Let's do it.
Like, I don't know how much it costs to like rent out the movies, but like just something as simple as like, oh, hey, we're doing a fucking Lord of the Rings marathon, or we're doing a fucking Back to the Future marathon and shit like that. And it's like, you just see these movie theaters and then they'll just be like, oh yeah, on Tuesdays it's half priced, and also all the popcorn,
and they don't promote it. Like they won't even promote it. Like you ring up a thing and you're like, whoa, why was that so cheap? And they're like, They're like, oh yeah, it's half off on Tuesdays. You're like, you have no signage. You don't tell
Yeah.
anybody. There's nothing.
You won't. Yeah, you only post about this before the movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You let us know on the previews for the movie that Tuesdays are half off. And you're like, so usually if you're there Wednesday through Monday, you're like, fuck, I was
Yeah.
off yesterday. I could have come here yesterday.
Well, that's why like I don't want the theater to die, but I'm not surprised or I don't have a lot of sympathy for him because it's that shit of like now unless I don't know unless there's some like crazy insane thing behind the scenes where they're like actually this thing cost us $1 bajillion and we have to make nachos $20, but which I don't believe. But like maybe there's that. That's the only way I can look at it like that. It's like you go to the movie theaters and you just like you should be able to casually order food and it not cost $50 fucking dollars. You know what I
Right.
mean? It like
Yeah.
and it like you can still make a profit and make it overpriced, but
Well,
not just fuck you overpriced.
That's the thing that happened at Alamo Draft House or whatever, the theaters or whatever.
Yeah, they've been going through a lot of drama lately.
Well, I mean, because that's they set a standard. Like we were just talking about this with Cold Stone Creameries or whatever. Like it's not that they invented that thing; they just made that thing
Their
like
thing.
Yeah, they acted like that was a thing. But even still, brother, I absolutely hate that model. Like the thing where you're like you're in there and you're going to you're going to have to communicate with like it's a restaurant meets a movie theater.
A thing you need to be quiet at.
Yeah, it's like you essentially turn a movie theater into a comedy club, where it's just
Yeah.
like, no, I just want no. Does that
You know
come
what's
with cheese?
funny?
I can't have cheese. Can I get it with no cheese? And you're just like, do I shush? Do I shush? I should shush,
Yeah.
right? I want to watch the movie, but they're shush.
Well, no, the funny thing is I was just recently, a couple weeks ago, fucking I got the breakdown on it from Mike Eaton. And like basically what he was saying is like when Alamo Draft House first came out, it was like run by like it wasn't this huge corporation that it is now. And it was mainly the people who would work there would be like hardcore cinephiles. So like you didn't have to, and they would still be like waiters and stuff like that, but you didn't have to like train them to like shut the fuck up and be quick about it. And it would be a thing of like, I think he said it would be a thing of like, you know, everything wasn't automated. So you had to like write down what you would want.
Yeah.
They would grab that, go get your shit, and then they'd worry about the bill after the movie.
Yeah.
And or if they did worry about it, they'd throw the fucking receipt down on you in the middle. And then but it was a thing of like they were very aware of not being cumbersome during the movie. And then how he phrased it, it shifted into a whole okay, we got bought out by these bigger companies and we're trying to save money. So we're just trying to hire fucking anyone who will take the job for cheap. And then we have to implement this fucking app that is actually more disturbing than it disrupts things way more. Like rather than if you just were on your phone the whole fucking movie and
Right.
they just it's that thing we've talked about a million times. You just if you're fine with not maximizing profits every fucking quarter, like obviously a business needs to get profits, but this whole thing where you maximize it a little more every quarter and you just focus on giving the people a good experience, you're going to be fine. Are you going to have enough money for the second yacht? No, but you're going to have a good fucking experience.
You're gonna have a really nice yacht.
And we don't have to live in this bland hell constantly. I should be respectful. There's a lot of people their houses get bombed all the time. So you know what I mean, though.
Yeah. But that's the thing. Is like that's a boom hell. We're in a bland hell. They're in a boom hell.
We're in a kaboom. They're in a kaboom hell.
They're in a kaboom.
We're in a kaboom.
But bear what is this? Bear create
Earth Bear Create 1630.
Whatever the hell your name is. We're gonna call you 16. We need more better third places, like affordable arcade / movie theaters, fun experiences. Yeah, like that's the thing of like it's essentially like when we were kids, how they would have like the youth centers or something, like kind of have like adult centers that aren't swingers parties, where we don't have to necessarily like
no pineapples.
No pineapples. We just go in and like literally just like, and you would say like, well, it's not a Dave and Buster's. No, they do too much at Dave and Buster's. Like Dave and Buster's is not, it's not loosey goosey. We're talking arcades where it's loud, but it's also kind of smelly, and it's a
Yeah.
little humid. It's not hot. It's not, but it's just kind of like it's not like the most comfortable. And it's also you're moving. There's skee
Yeah,
ball.
no,
There's
it's
old games. There's newer games. There's one brand new game that for some reason that like there's gonna be a life size Fruit Ninja, like something like that. But it's
yeah,
all somehow it
yeah.
all looks out of place.
You walk in, you go, I didn't know they made Subway Surfer machines, but okay.
Okay, I'll do it. You know
You
what I
know
mean?
what's funny? There is a place like that in Austin, but even then, I go. That's why I don't know, man. Life always seems like I'm always just like it's. I feel like it. Like I always got annoyed with this when I was younger, and my parents would take me to Kohl's, and
Yeah.
like nothing wrong with Kohl's, but I would always be superficial, and I wanted like whatever the cool kid shirts was, and you would go to Kohl's, and none of the brands there were the cool kid brands, but they were all like close, but they still had that thing about them where it just looked like it sucked ass. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I was like, you know, and I'd always be like, why don't you just make it look like that? Like
Yeah.
this is how my brain works. And I was like, there's always so there'd always be these things in life that I'm like, you're so close. And this could be my bias, but like there's something in Austin that it's like it's a bar with an arcade next to it. And if you just go to the bar and order food and drinks and stuff, I think the games are free or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then I look it up and I go, also, we only serve cider. And I go, you're so fucking close.
Yeah.
What fucking jagoff wants to just go and just drink cider all fucking day? It's just going to be some fucking fedora wearing neckbeard
It
fucking
feels
hangout spot.
it feels like a hill you're dying on. You know what I mean? Like this feels like an argument somewhere where you're like, somebody said, you know, maybe you should have beer, and you're like, maybe I shouldn't, Kevin. You know,
Yeah.
this is like out of nowhere. They're just like, how about I'll never have beer and I only have cider. It's like that's what it feels like because it doesn't make sense. I don't think you have to have a liquor license to serve. There might be something there where like all you can have is beer but no, it's usually beer, cider, and wine, I think, or like all in the same category.
I feel like you need a liquor license for cider. There's alcohol in it, right?
I would think so. If you need one for beer, you definitely need one for cider. But there might be those loopholes, you know.
I don't know. I think Cidercade or whatever the fuck it's called is just so a guy can be like, you know, there's no one who has an entirely cider bar. You're like, yeah, don't do that.
But I'm surprised there actually wasn't one at the. We talked about this because you went to San Antonio for the Alamo and the Riverwalk and all that stuff with Steph.
Oh yeah,
like, it was very underwhelming, and it was really frustrating that when I was in the Alamo, this crazy sacred place that I think was an afterthought of a preservation. Dom brought it up where she's like, it just feels like they like after they started building the city, they were like, oh, maybe we can do something here, like kind of thing of like there's a lot of history. People keep asking about these crazy old buildings because dude, most of the buildings have gotten knocked down. And also you can see through the windows of like the Alamo a fucking Ripley's Believe It or Not rip off.
Yeah.
A fucking
you walk 5 feet and you can get
boardwalk
the
t-shirts. Yeah.
Yeah, you can get a shirt that says the bitch fell off, things like that.
Get a margarita for this Chica margarita or margarita Chica. I can't remember the name of it. Dom kept I felt kind of like, now that I think about it, she might have wanted to buy it. The merch was ridiculous, and they keep asking you for money. I'm at fucking at Alamo. It's so funny too. Speaking of, because the original plan was to go to the theater in San Antonio, and I was like, Dom was like, oh, there's nothing playing. I said, oh well, we can just go to the Alamo if you want. And she goes, okay. And I go like, what? And I was like, I got so like, what's the problem here? And she goes like, I guess so. And I said, you know, the Alamo is a place, right? It's not just the movie theater. That's what the movie theater was named after. I think that's where they started, was Alamo City. And she's like, she's like, yeah, I thought it was weird that you're asking. And I was like, no, why would I say no? Why instead? Yes, it is ridiculous to go to San Antonio for unlimited popcorn or to go to a movie, but it's because they had the unlimited popcorn. I wouldn't just go to the Alamo in Alamo to see a movie that also I still don't want to see for super expensive popcorn that I'm gonna have to shout over a movie for. I think the Alamo itself was like, it was, first of all, I thought it was free because I thought it was like a state park, and but I
It's
don't think it is. I think
no,
it's
it is
private.
no, it is free, but you have to pay to go into the like church.
Yeah, the one main thing
You
that
can
looks.
Yeah, and then you have to like you can there's like two buildings you can walk into
Yeah,
if you
there's
want
the
if you
there was
don't
like
want to pay, but then there's like this big church, which that's a scam because it's like
just a
it's
big
another
empty place.
well, yeah, it's another empty building that they just give you a whole fucking book to read while
Yeah.
you're walking.
It's
You're walking
very
through it.
it's a very uninteresting museum in my opinion, and very expensive, especially. And they asked for donations throughout. There was like things. Hey, Dom.
What up, Dom?
Say hi to
Um,
Carmela. She's helping. So I think there's like a weird kind of I it doesn't I don't understand where the not, I guess, not the funding comes from, because they charge an astronomical amount. Well, not an astronomical for what they're offering. They offer we paid $24, I think, a person to be able to go into the church and to that other long infirmary building, I think it was. And you just
Yeah.
see a bunch of artifacts that I may or may not be real. I don't know. A lot of recreations of artifacts. Like when I see 1986 next to a thing in a fucking Alamo museum, I go, get it out of the case. Take it out of the case. You made this. This is as old as I am. I don't want to see this. I would just take that knife and I'll throw it out of there.
Well, like you saying, in the what was it, the armory or the medic area? Like I remember that specifically where because they do this to every fucking room.
Don't touch the walls.
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, brother, what are you preserving?
They do this to every fucking room where you go into it and you go okay, so you can just tell you're like, oh, you've redone most of this area. Most of this area is 51% or higher, not the original Alamo. And that's every area you're in. It feels like they restored a lot of stuff, which I guess you got to do for structural integrity or things like that. But there is a level of it where it's dude, I want this as close to how it was as humanly possible.
Yeah.
I don't want it to I don't want it to look like how it did. I want it to be what it is now. Does that make sense?
No, exactly. And that's my biggest issue with. I went to this place. It's called Bolt Castle, and it was on it was in upstate New York. It was the literal Thousand Island
Bolt Castle
tour.
sounds like an amazing album,
brother. It was, and it's even how it's spelled. It's like BOLDT or something. But it's a really kind of sad story about this guy that fell in love. He started building this huge estate for his wife, and then she ended up passing away halfway through. So he kind of just stopped. Mm-hmm. Well, they're finishing it now, and it's and I think it's so they can give more longer tours or charge more or something. But it's, I mean, and this brother, when it was forever ago, and I can't this was even before we probably moved to Pennsylvania, I think.
Yeah.
So this was a long time ago that I visited, but it's so now you have the same thing that happened at the fucking Alamo. I keep wanting to call it the Civil War Museum because they use it as a Confederate stronghold after. Just a heads up. Not a good place. But they had a place where they had
such a fun distinction.
It's so strange. It's so strange to me to go
no, I'm just saying just so you know, it's not a good place.
It's not they lost the Alamo. It was not a turning point. They kept saying this is a huge turning point and independence and blah blah. And it's no, it wasn't. Because they go at the end, they go, remember us, we're dying. And then everybody goes, and a few years later, a bunch of other people, which was the turning point, won the war. That's the turning point. It wasn't just the fact that they're we lost, but this is really pivotal.
No. Well, and there's also a thing of There's also a thing of like, yo, how much of this did you steal from the Mexicans? Like,
all of it. It was all stolen.
Yeah, that's the
A
thing.
bunch of times.
I didn't look into it just because I was like, I have a strong feeling I'm right. I go, this has to all be stolen from the Mexicans.
You're charging for stolen property. Like that's the thing is that's what you're doing. So you go in and they want it to be restored. They want it. Don't touch this. Don't touch that. But they're not actually doing anything. The merch, a coffee cup, brother. I wanted so bad because I actually learned one of the best things. Yeah. See, brother,
It's a good cup.
it's probably, but that was probably like
Also-
$19. That wasn't that like $19 or something.
Also, it was mother-in-law was making it rain, so everyone got what they wanted.
Then I would have gotten my mug, but I was either going to get a Pee Wee mug, which was like $24, I think. But I learned like when we went through the part where they had some of the preserved flags,
I don't know how much it was.
they were just doing this fucking. They were going like, "This will look cool," and or they did a thing where they're just like, "I don't really like it when you're mean to me," and they just that's the flag now. They like very long messages, like the "Don't tread on me" or "Come and take it." There was a couple drafts, I think, of that.
Oh,
why don't you come over here and say that to my face, buddy boy? And they're like, we could ramp that down a little. Put a snake, fill the space, fill a little bit of the space.
Cut these little words out, right?
Yeah, we don't need. We know that we're referring to them because we're there seeing the flag, so we don't have to acknowledge that. Like they're I think there's a lot of
just have come and take it, buddy boy, and they just have a long meeting. They're like, I don't think we need the buddy boy.
They do one of these. They go, we're so close.
Yeah,
they're like,
it's
right here. It's right here.
Is the buddy boy necessary?
I'm not married to it. Done. They're just like, that's our flag. We shake on it.
And they're just like, give it a snake.
Yeah. Put it. Well, the come and take it one is kind of interesting because they just have, which is so strange to me, a cannon barrel. I don't understand that. No wheels. Wow. What's it sitting on? The snake, like even the snake one, there's a snake and there's like a little bit of grass that they put there to be like.
I mean, maybe they don't
hitting on the ground.
Maybe they don't. Wait. Oh, you mean on the flag?
Yeah, on the flag, on the come and take it flag. It's just like a dick shaped fucking cannon. Like if you don't give it the wheels, it just kind of looks like a phallic thing. Because also you're also not showing. It's not showing the front of the barrel. I don't think. So it just looks like a kind of an eggplant, to be honest with you. Come and take my, and honestly, I like it more because then it's like you're grabbing your shit and going, come and fucking take it. Yeah. And I like that as a battle flag because it's lit. Oh yeah, there they go. Oh, they put a star. I forgot the star. That's a sick flag to me.
That's not a bad flag.
That is one of my favorite flag. I'm not a big flag guy. You know that. I like Flag Man. That's about it. But
don't you have like two flags right behind you?
I like the lightning. They make the flag.
You're not. No one's into flags for flags. They're into what's on the flag.
I don't wave this. I don't salute it.
You can just say you were wrong.
You were wrong. So the come and take it one is a flag that I would salute and I would pledge allegiance to because I'm like, yeah, I like that. I like that model of like the come on.
I want to get the pink flag with Nicki Minaj on it. You see frat boys having all the time.
I would also do that. Megan Thee Stallion would also be acceptable. I'd salute that. But I'd salute it a little bit down south, if you know what I mean.
I would jack off to it. If you know what I mean.
You did know. So you did know what I meant.
Yeah. You're very interesting not liker of flags.
The color, it's not the color of the flag, but it's the content of the character. Exactly, guys. You know that.
I guess it wasn't. It might be the Ice Spice one that was pink. Yeah, dude, I'd hang that up.
She's so pretty.
She's so fucking pretty. It's crazy how pretty she is.
Like she seems so smart. Can you look up Megan Thee Stallion just real quick too? Is there a Megan Thee Stallion flag? Oh, is there a Megan Thee Stallion flag? Yeah, that's a nice flag.
That's a good flag. And also Ice Spice, if you're watching this, I miss when you were kind of fat. I don't like this whole thin version of you.
That's what I was talking about with that porn star that I was talking to. What's his face? Nate about. Where it's just like
hitting Nate with what's his face rules.
Hollywood Nate, you gotta hit him.
Hollywood Nate. Yeah, true.
Megan Thee Stallion ones aren't good.
No,
that one is.
I don't think. Yeah, I don't think there's like a standardized one. I think these are all. I don't know why I don't like that. I mean, I like it, but not for like a flag.
Maybe you should get a commie flag.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a commie flag. Don't fucking talk to me about that bullshit. No, I'm saying these flags. Awesome. These flags are not like showing her in her like best essence.
What's that red carpet one?
Like that, like that one's just like a cell phone selfie. It's like
no. That's like a phone case.
Give me her in like a powerful stance where I just truly realize how thick her thighs are.
Yes, we waist down, gentlemen. Waist down. I mean,
this is close. This is close.
I like it.
I like it. I like that she likes anime and wants to dress up.
Yeah.
She's so fucking cool.
So I would say the Alamo is not necessarily.
You'd say forget it.
Yeah, I would forget it. And I did. It's gone.
No, it's you know what it is? You know what it is? They need to like, if you can't just, because I think you were talking about Gettysburg, where like if you go to Gettysburg, they have all the modern shit. But then when you like Gettysburg has the benefit of being like big ass fields. But well, no, that's just the fucking town respecting history more than, because you could also make in San Antonio, you could make a law that says like no Ripley's, believe it or not, within a square mile of the Alamo, like
within eyesight, at least within eye line of the goddamn place. Like just put it on the other block.
I think it's tough with the Alamo because I'm pretty sure it's near like the downtown area. Like
it's right by Riverwalk. Yeah,
it's near the state buildings and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, the Riverwalk's take. But no, Gettysburg is done right, where you go to it and you go, this is Gettysburg, and then this is the modern town of Gettysburg. You know what I mean?
You're still seeing cars and other people. It's not like they totally take immersive experience or something like that, but it's like a situation where you're not like walking past the Johnny Rockets to get, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just very strange.
Every single fucking thing has like a giant barrier around it, and it's not like aggressively restored. But
and that's just continuously just reminding you don't touch anything, and also this is not at all what it looked like back in the day.
That's why I'm a bigger fan of museums and stuff in general, because like that part of the Alamo where you just have everything's donated by fucking
Phil Collins,
Phil Collins. That I like, where you like, okay, I'll be in a modern room, and then you have this old shit in cases, and I can like look at I just don't like when, because like something will get, I don't know, man. It's like when they it's like when they restore shit, they find old shit and then they restore it to like how it, so it's like it's not old shit anymore.
Right. It's not interesting anymore. It's not compelling.
Yeah, it's not what, like, the history was in that it was fucked up.
Right. There's also the thing about museums that really pisses me off. And I've actually seen it in action before, where like they have people that straight up copy it. They have a painter that paints a copy of the famous painting, and they hide the famous painting from us. So most, if not all, of the things that you see in most museums are recreations or not actually. Like actually, yeah, they're what is it? Not reprints, but recreations.
Reproductions.
I think reproductions is the best way to say it. Like where even like the fossils and stuff, like it's a mold.
Yeah.
Like sometimes they're like, "Hey, this is a knife." It's like, nope, you just made. And like at least at the Alamo, they're like, "This is a knife that was made in 1986," and you're just like, "That's why it's so shiny." It's not because you were able to keep it pristine or make it look better after all this time. It's just a new knife. This is just a knife.
Yeah,
this is just a knife. And
that's why I never.
Or the years on certain things, they're like, there's like, this is a book, and I'm like, oh, is this like a log book or something? Like, nope, this is just a book about the Alamo from like 20 years later.
Who's starting your own Gettysburg then? That's why it's honestly similar too to why like collecting just to be a completist annoys me. Because like when even to this day, but it's how I felt as a little kid. People would be like, well, you have to keep it pristine in the case, and I go like, well, then what's the point of buying this then if I didn't use it?
Right.
Like it doesn't, like, and I think about this stuff a lot because I'm like into all the trading card stuff where people go like people talk about like the value of shit. And
Mhm.
when like it's the way like Pokemon's gone because it's just dudes who just buy up all the stock and they're just looking for the cards that have been like, like the card's value is because the Pokemon company chose to only print a couple and they've
Right.
decided. Now, there are certain cards that get a little bit of a value because they're useful in the game or they have nostalgic, but like there's a shit ton of cards that are like, these are valuable because we chose to only print a couple of them. And then you get those and you immediately keep them in pristine condition. And I just go like, it's like, to me, all the value then is just made up. You know what I mean? Like the reason I see old Pokemon cards and there's value to me is I go, oh, I had that as a kid. I'd love to have that again. I'd love to have that on my, like, get that graded, put it in a case and put it on here so I can fucking every
You know
time
what?
I'm feeling miserable, I go, oh yeah, first edition Charizard. Shit used to be fun. Remember?
The thing
You
I
know,
always wanted growing up was a Power Rangers helmet, like a real Power Rangers helmet, like one that went
yeah.
like over. But I was like, I want it to wear it. I'm not gonna, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want it just to have on my shelf. I want to like
Yeah. I mean,
functioning.
it turns the shit into fucking like it turns the shit into like a physical NFT at that point. I go, it's like you go like,
Yeah.
what's the point of this then? It's
Yeah.
the part about collecting that always bugged the fucking shit out of me.
Yeah, the pristine kind of nature of things. I don't want a new thing in a museum. I don't want it like a restored thing. I want it like if for safety reasons, yeah, but I would also, or if you could even restore it in the means that they used to restore things of that era, I would even accept that. If you're like, okay, so we restored this knife, but we restored it using restoration tactics from that era. And
Yeah.
you go like, perfect. If you're like, we use salt and hot water and we just rubbed it on it for a while and we let it sit in the sun for 3 days, like that's a cool that's then you're continuing the
Yeah.
legacy or the memory or the vibe of the whole fucking dealio. You know what I mean? Like,
No, it's like it's what gives it the actual value. Because if you restore it for modern context, you're like, well, you're kind of like washing away the history. You got to think about like what gives shit value. Like I have a bunch of books over here that like there's a couple books on my bookshelf I'll probably never read, but I keep them because like my mom or dad got them for me for a Christmas present. And I go, oh, that reminds me of them being, even though they were wrong, they were like, Andrew will love this. And like, things like that make me feel good. But
yeah,
then you look at other shit and you're just like, I don't know if I had some if you get, I mean, I'd love to have an expensive Pokemon card to resell it and make a bunch of money, but just because you tell me this is worth 10 grand, I'm almost just like, no, I mean, that's cool for the investment opportunity, but I have no emotions towards this.
yeah, and that's the thing. I actually have a Tampa Bay Lightning jersey that I got signed by a lot of the original Stanley Cup winning team, but not like everybody or anything. And also no means of really wanting to sell it. And I don't necessarily want it. I don't really have it on display necessarily.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I recognize a lot. And I'm like, I might just wear this again. Damn,
That'd be fun.
I gotta piss so bad.
I do too. We just hit 2 hours. You want to just wrap it up here?
Yeah, we'll just
All
go
right.
pee and
Okay.
quit.
We'll FaceTime while we
Yeah.
pee.
Yeah.
Guys, this has been very fun. We'll see you on Friday. We love you all. Great show. Earth Bear Create. I will look into that Cowboys reaction for you. I love you guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. See you on the next one. Be about it. Peace.
Bye.